evening, a Sunday evening, that we have just beat Brentford 1-0 away from home. And here is my 5 things we have learnt from the game. Please, before we go into the video, make sure you are liking the video. And of course, make sure you are checking out our 2 sponsors, QR codes by the side. Of course, Match Bingo, I won up £500 off £4. So get involved in that. And of course, OK Jerseys, where this jersey and all the jerseys behind me have been purchased. Top quality, only £15, plus you get a further 8% off if you use the code capitals OK on checkout. Right, let's get into this game. 1-0 victory, how are you feeling? I am feeling happy, and this is why. My first reason, Manchester City at last have got a 1-0 victory. To me, 1-0's at everything. 1-0's show that, firstly, of course, you can score a goal, but secondly, and more importantly, you can keep a clean sheet. Now, have we kept clean sheets this season? We have, but we've also needed a 2 or 3 goal lead. We saw this one out today. To get that first 1 goal victory for me, I can't remember the last time we got one. So that's very important. Second thing, and I almost didn't want to put this in there now because it's inevitable. Haaland is inevitable. Once again, by the way, of course, the goal, sensational, great strength. But I want to talk about Haaland's all-round play as well, just quickly. He's getting back. He's getting involved. You know, when someone has been given a responsibility and they just thrive on it, ever since Erling Haaland has been made part of this leadership group, it's very clear to see he is thriving at being seen as one of the leaders of this group. And once again, in that second half where we had to dig deep, Haaland was back there getting involved non-stop. So massive, massive shout out to Erling Haaland. By the way, Erling Haaland has now scored in every single goal in between the 2 international breaks. Of course, he also scored in the 2 international games. I believe the only game he hasn't scored in this season is Tottenham. Guy's a phenom. Third thing we have learned, right, another phenom. Gianluigi Donnarumma. Clutch. Very early in the second half, they're through on goal. I'm thinking, here we go. This is typical City. Out comes the big man, makes himself even bigger. Pause on that. And, you know, it's such a... If Brentford would have got a goal at that point, we all know what would have happened, right? So I also want to say on Donnarumma, though, he's an absolute madman. What he did, I think it was probably in about the 92nd minute, trying to keep the ball in. Absolute nutter, but we absolutely love him already. He's going to be so important for us. Look, how many... I feel like already we're saying... actually, and shout out to him as well. Today, he just got, I think, voted Save of the Month. So, you know, he's already having such a big, big impact. So, shout out to Donnarumma on that. Third thing, what else have I got down here? Right, here's a concerning one. Rodri's fitness. I think it's very clear for us all to see at this point, we can't rely on Rodri to be fit this season. It looked different today. You know, we've seen him come off in games. We've even saw him get injured in the Club World Cup. There was a look on Rodri's face when he was down on the pitch today that really, really concerned me. A look almost like, it takes me back to when Vincent Kompany would come back from an injury and get injured again, and the look on his face, a look that makes you really feel for someone, and the frustration. The good news is he wasn't straight off. He was on the touchline, heavily strapped, but he was on the touchline, and we will know more on Rodri in the coming days. Look, it's not his knee. Right? It's not his knee. It was his hamstring, which isn't a good thing. I'm not going to try and act like it's a good thing, but it wasn't his knee. We're going to have to wait till we see more. However, the one thing I will say on this is every game I'm seeing of Nico Gonzalez, he is getting better. And when I say better, it's not about just winning the duels. It's about him learning to do the Rodri role. And I'm seeing that. He's turning on the ball far quicker. He's moving the ball quicker. And This isn't a Calvin Phillips. We've got someone in Nico Gonzalez that I truly do believe can come in and fill the role. Is he Rodri? No. But can he fill the role? I think he can. The next thing I've got, have I done all 5? Right. 1 goal lead for Man City. Sorry, people. 1 goal lead for Man City. Important. Haaland, 2. Rodri, 3. Donnarumma. Sorry, so this is my 5th one. And my 5th one, Ait Nouri has a fight on his hands when he returns. Nico O'Reilly, ever since that Manchester United game, when he steps in on the left-hand side, and in fact, you know what? We have to throw it back to last season. Last season as well, he was just as good. Nico O'Reilly is everything we need on the left-hand side. He's great going forward, but going back, he's growing stronger and stronger and more confident. And sometimes he's actually taking the mickey out of some of these wingers. For me, Ait Nouri has one of the biggest fights on his hands when he gets back. And I feel for him a little bit because, listen, he's only had a handful of games for us, couple of injuries already, couple of knocks, but he's returning to a City team that are, you know, in a different place to when he left them only a month ago. But he's returning to the fact that O'Reilly is not just off the back of this season, but off the back of the back end of last season as well. O'Reilly is part of our best back four. And Ait Nouri is now going to have to earn his place back in this team. Listen, overall, I want to know your opinions on everything. There might have been a lot of things that I didn't pick up in the game. So please, that's what the comments are there for. Get involved in the comments. Let me know your thoughts, what I'm right on, what I'm wrong on, what you saw, 5 things that maybe you learned, whatever you want to comment. But one note I will say is, the last time we went into an international break, it was off the back of 2 losses. We're now coming off the back of, I believe it's 5 wins and 2 draws in between the last international break and this international break. We're in a lot better place. And one thing I will say we've learned this weekend is that a 5-point gap can be overturned just like that. We are sitting very nicely. And remember, after the international break, we have Turkey coming back. We have Ait Nouri coming back. We'll have Kovacic back. We'll have Kuzanov back, which is very important. And, of course, we'll have Marmoush back. So right now, and great news that Foden isn't going to on international break. So for me, nothing but positives at the moment. We're moving below the radars. Arsenal are celebrating being top of the league. Liverpool are crying because they've lost a couple of games. And City are just doing City. Smash the like on the way out, and I'll catch you soon. Peace, people.